storage, then we have mixing movements, and then there will be emptying. And there are secretions, mainly we have hydrochloric acid, which help in the breakdown of food. We have pepsin, which help in the digestion of proteins, and of course, hydrochloric acid in the stomach makes the pH very low. Is that, what's formed in the stomach from the mixing movement with the effect of acid and pepsin is called chyme. It's a milky secretion. And it has the following characteristics. It's hypertonic. It's hypertonic. So it needs to be diluted. And it's done by large volume of water which is secreted across the duodenal wall. We talk about the small intestine in the, I think, next 2 weeks. Acid is very acidic. But this acidic secretion is corrected by what? By secretions from the intestine, by pancreatic secretion from the ducts, and by gallbladder secretion. So it will be neutralized. And the bicarbonate that is secreted, alkaline kind. Whenever hydrogen ion is pumped out to the canaliculi, there will be bicarbonate absorption to the venous side. This will result in the venous side to be slightly more alkaline. This alkaline venous blood will be corrected by the acid tide from the pancreas. The pancreas, in opposite to the stomach, it will secrete bicarbonate. So there will be more H going to the venous side. These two will counter each other. So there will be bicarbonate secretion from the and this is the meaning of derived from the excess bicarbonate added to the blood as a result of gastric acid secretion. And of course, the nutrients are partly digested, and digestion is completed by enzymes from the pancreas, from the intestinal mucosa, and by the effect of bile acids and salts secreted by the liver. What are the major metabolic functions of the liver? I think you studied liver anywhere? Liver كان لك يفندو أمره ليرة أنا توميكي كان فندو غيري أو صباح نشتغل فندو لسه liver serologic شيء histologic. So liver has several functions. One of them is formation of plasma proteins, including clotting factors, and there is cholesterol. طبعا source cholesterol لجسمه either from the diet or from formation in the liver. We have triglycerides and lipoproteins are formed in the liver. It has detoxification function and excretion. Excretion of these substances and drug metabolites. Some of the drugs are secreted in the liver secretion or in the bile. Storage function, it's the storage for fat-soluble vitamins and vitamin B12, and it's a storage for energy in the form of glycogen. And what is the subject of our today is the production of bile salts and bile acids that will help in digestion. So bile is not a digestive enzyme, it will just help in the digestion. Of course, it has metabolic functions like carbohydrate, fat, protein synthesis, and metabolism. I'm an issue biochemistry. Venous cell structure in liver. This is the basic structure of a liver lobule. You see, this is the central vein. We have the sinusoids, which contain the venous side, and these are the bile canaliculi. And this is the hepatocytes. أنا فهمت على الهيستولوجي ما بصوركم. لا تعرفين؟ بس anatomy تعرف. So this is bile canaliculi. We say bile is formed by the hepatocytes. These are the hepatocytes arranged around a canaliculi that will secrete bile. فأتلم السيلانة كبile درستبه, it will be secreted to the canaliculi and it will enter the biliary duct. We have Kupffer cells, and they are macrophages in the liver. We have lymphatic and arterial supply to the area. This is the portal vein, so the liver has two venous sides. One of them is the portal vein, portal vein, yet it will enter the sinusoids of the liver to be filtered and detoxified. And this is the bile duct. So bile is formed from these hepatocytes and enter the bile canaliculi to reach the bile duct. طبعا bile duct can join again to form the common hepatic duct. This is all what we say. Bile is formed by the hepatocytes. Hepatocytes are very complex cells. Bile secretion. فران ما يعني؟ أيوة أنا شرح ما نكذبوها، مي بس ما نكذب ذلك في بيلا مو شيء درجة. What's the composition of bile? Bile كباسيتين مال الليفر bile drustaca, but bile is formed of what? Mainly, the main constituent is the bile salts. أما لو هي functional. أجينا أقول composition سيري كنا شيء بيجي زور ترينشتي water. So from its function, capacity biology, we think of bile salts. We have what? Cholic acid and chenodeoxycholic acids. These are the primary bile acids. They are conjugated with what? With amino acids, طبعا glycine وتايرين. كي تفورم مثلا glycocholic acid ياخذ thyrocholic acid بهمان شيء chenodeoxycholic acids. أجل يكيش بقدر لقل صوديوم وبوتاسيوم they form bile salts. So bile acids are and bile salts are interchangeable. يعني بين يكا أقورين when you play bile acid, whenever there is sodium and potassium is binding to the bile acid, it forms bile salt. We have bile pigments. So pigments that are secreted in the bile, for example, we have bilirubin. One of the functions of liver is to excrete bilirubin out. Of course, whenever there is excessive hemolysis in the circulation, result in what? Formation of more bile pigments in the bile. Problem in the liver and biliary tree often result in accumulation of bilirubin in the blood or beta jaundice. But we show again bile pigment zor secretion كلا لأنجامي hemolysis. شيروا يا more bile pigments in the bile. بيته هو شيء. Stone. Bile pigment stones. اگر هەر کاتێک ڕێژەکەی زیاد هەیە لە کەیساتی سەلەسیمیایە لە کەیساتی هیمۆلیتیک ئەنیمیایە ڕسکی گۆڵستۆنمان زۆرە بۆ چونکە because there is excessive bile pigments in the bile. هەر شتێکە لە بەڵانسی خۆی دەچێت سە کۆلێسترۆل بە هەمان شێوە. We have cholesterol in it. One of the sources. bilirubin رنگی زرده بەڵام بیلیڤێردینە پێوانە سەوزە. ئەو چێنجەکە ڕوئایە لە ئینتێستینا چێنجەکە ڕوئایە بۆ شکڵی لێکا باید کە سەوزە سەوزی سەوز نییە ئاوا ببینی. It's a greenish color, greenish brown color بۆی ئاوا هەیە بۆ شکڵە نییە بۆی سەوزی هینە بەڵام it's due to the effect of bilirubin and biliverdin زیاتر ئەو کەلەرەی ئەیاکە. Cholesterol is also excreted in the feces. طبعا cholesterol یەکێک لە فانکشنەکانی bile secretion کە وایە cholesterolش بەرێتە دەرەوە. بە هەمان شێوەی bile pigment ئەگەر cholesterolمان زۆر بێت لەوانەیە کە lipid disorderیان هەیە یاخود یەکێک excessive cholesterol بخوات کە سۆرسی cholesterol لە جسمە either from diet or from liver formation. باشە ئەگەر cholesterolش زۆر بێ ڕێژەکەی لە bile چێ بێت؟ This will result in gallstone formation. بەڵام تایمی ستۆنەکە فەرقی هەیە دێجە cholesterol ستۆنمان هەیە لەگەڵ bile pigment ستۆنمان هەیە کارکتریستیکیان فەرقی هەیە و کۆزەکانیشیان فەرقی هەیە. Also we have drugs and other xenobiotics. Any chemical compound outside the body that's entered the body, it will be excreted from the body by the hepatic processing and excretion with the bile. هندي chemical substance تلك أي خوي حتى مثلا food additive مش تكانش هندي كان they will be excreted in bile. Xenobiotic. Any chemical substance that's not formed in the body. It أتواني drug به أتواني هر chemical substance كتير به كيتو لقل خارجنا إنخد. It will be processed in the liver and excreted out. So bile is an enzymatic solution secreted by the hepatocytes. Volumetric here is about 500 ml وأتواني لبسوطن جامبلو بيتاكو about 1200 milliliter in a 24-hour with a pH of 8. This means it's alkaline. جاري كتير مثل composition and جاري كتير classification هي bile acid dependent fraction أو هنشكل bile acid independent fraction. Independent fraction, the bile acid index secreted by the cells lining the intrahepatic biliary duct. So it will be secreted by the duct. Watery solution, soluble and bicarbonate. The function of this part, bile fluid function of neutralization is acidic stomatol. Bile acid dependent fraction, which is secreted by the hepatocytes, include bile acids with malfunctional here, cholesterol. It will enter the structure of a source of cholesterol secretion. أتواني absorption نكرته بلان cholesterol هر أو بخوي أتواني absorption يشبهه للintestinal. لما source كي excretion cholesterol كالجسم زيادة لما جاي bile هو secretion نكره. And we have bile pigments. We talked about the bile pigments, which are bilirubin pigments. This is what we discussed. It's secreted to the terminal bile duct and then to the larger ducts until it reaches the hepatic duct. Common bile duct. كأشياء common bile duct either it empties to the duodenum. هسه رسمي دواي أول واجب. لا رسمي كتير ما عندنا أقول لك. رسمي كتير استنى نابو. أمنا الله سلايد هذا نزور الشيء رسمه تجيب ما نقدر. sorry. ما كان هلا يصير أمر رسمه شكلي. When it enters the common bile duct, either it will empty to the duodenum through the sphincter of Oddi, ياخذ أجرته بالcystic duct. This part is called the cystic duct to be stored in the gallbladder. Other sphincter of Oddi grab it or opening bile duct to pancreatic duct intestine. If it is open, it will go. Okay, you shall open it. Mila كان زيادة, there will be stimulation of opening of the sphincter of Oddi. But if it close it, there pressure zone and it will go back to the cystic duct to be stored in the gallbladder. So, what are bile salts? I'm going to description. Capacity circulation bile salt. Bile salt is formed in the liver, secreted with bile to the intestine. Bile salt they are needed by the body. So not when you needed bile salt. So 95% or more than 94% of it will be reabsorbed in the intestine. طبعا part اللي هي يكسر secretion اللي هي absorption بينه part شيء اسمه terminal area reabsorption بينه. So bile salts are bile salts they are salts of bile acid. They are the most important components because they help in the fat digestion. They are derivatives of cholesterol and they are recycled through enterohepatic circulation. From its name, entero, and from the intestine, hepatic go to the liver through the portal vein. They are resecreted to the bile canaliculi and resecreted with bile. So this is the recirculation of bile. More than 94%, the additional 96% is reabsorbed, especially in the terminal ileum, but part of it in the duodenum. Only 6% are lost in the stool. And of course, the reabsorbed part will be re-excreted with bile. Daily, we have a loss of about 0.2 to 0.6 gram in the feces. Again, how we loss we need so much of what? Of bile salts to be formed. So much of cholesterol. Because bile salt كمان ما نجيبه. Colic acid وكينو ديوكسي colic acid لتشيو from cholesterol. أنا يكي لميكانيزم كان كأتواني جولستوني بين اليوم. وأكيد secretion يبايل زور به. شو كان درجة كان it will bind with the bile salt not to be reabsorbed. Direct نجده portal circulation. باشا. This will result in more secretion of bile. وأمشواها جولستوني ك dissolvent. لهندي تايب ستونها مش تواني. This is the enterohepatic circulation of bile. From the intestine, the bile salts that are secreted in bile will be reabsorbed, and of course, in the portal vein, go to the liver, re-excreted in the bile, go to the common hepatic duct, or either stored in the gallbladder, excreted to the intestine. This is the recirculation of bile. Then we have another term, we have bile salts and bile pigments. I think now you know the difference between them. Bile pigments are from what? يشتر باسمع. محمد. Bile pigment that you address بها. Bilirubin. هذا they are bile pigments. They have no digestive function. They doesn't help in digestion. They are just pigments. Derived from bilirubin. But they are much different from the bile salts, which are steroids derived from cholesterol, and either this cholesterol كان liver وهات وياخد from the diet. باش هنا سن شو جورك bilirubin ما هي biliverdin ما هي they are bile pigments. بلام bile acid كان primary bile acid كينو colic acid لقل كينو ديوكسي colic acid ما هي كprimary secondary ما هي تصورك ولا biochemistry different بلام بلى ليفر تنهار ولا صار شاشة مستكاتو بلى أو انتهى خويتيته بلى. The function of bile pigment, they are just give the greenish yellow color of the bile, and while the bile salts they will solubilize the lipid, aiding in the digestion. We talk about this emulsification of fat in the next slide. Bile acid in the gallbladder, when they bind with the potassium or sodium salts, they become bile salt. Amanish concentration in the gallbladder, reabsorbed in the terminal ileum and in the intestine, while bilirubin will be eliminated in the feces. طبعا partake bilirubin لبلاد عفندو تانا partake reabsorption أكره أيوجد تبغى kidney هنديكي secretion أكره. فين كان بالريفيو؟ شون بلاد فيسيولوجي كان دخلنا تاستا؟ لا تدوي بخير، بس أنا شنو تقولي ميتابوليزم هنا، كاتهيم ديستراكشن أكره بالروبين بدرستبع، بالروبين بارتي كيله إنتستين أو كلاجل بايلا سكريشن أكره شو كإنتستين أبسوربشن نعمل كله سكريشن أكره إندرفيسس، أو إنت أو نابلة، خوي نورمال بالروبين يبي 0.5 جرام بير دسيليتر كم تربه، أجينا جون ديس دركة، أجر زيادة تربه. Parte che oil intestino absorption appena c'è le kidney secretion legal urinary secretion again. باشا أي يفيد برجع لك legal liver يعني bile pigments are excreted. So one of the functions of bile secretion is to excrete bile pigments out. What are the functions of bile? It will emulsify large fat droplets. When fat comes from the stomach, they are large coarse particles. جورن they are not mixed with the chyme. mix يجنبوا لنا الكاي مكان. إيه بيس من هير digestive enzyme كان بلايبيز إيشي لسركين. بويك إيشي لسر هرشي لبيبي surface area يزركين. شيكا this is one of the functions of bile salt. وكو تقريبا على detergent actually هي ها كرشودية كتبولانا شيء جديد توزن شامبو يكي بياكي شيء ليكا it will solubilize the fat. وإليكا بتوان لسرفسة اللي كيتو. ياخذ بشوي كتير اللي أتواني بليو كوي ليكا ها تصوصك دروستكي بروني تيكي. عندك زيتي تيكي. زيتك كم جال ميكس نبولا سريع وستار. بس يعني راي وشيني it will become smaller particles. This is the function of bile salt. Of course, partanic lipid cable intestine, it will make it smaller, surrounded by bile salts. To be easily acted on by lipase enzyme. And through the formation of micelles, it will help in the transport and absorption of fat. It's a bile salt hat. Large, prevent precipitation of cholesterol or basmanker. Cholesterol is soluble in the bile. Agar balance habe لبيبي amount bile salt legal amount cholesterol, so the cholesterol will not precipitate and there is no cholesterol stone formation. بس حتى الcholesterol secretion زي كده لباله يعني cholesterol الزور either from lipid disorders or from the diet. What happened? Cholesterol might precipitate and there will be formation of stones. And one of the functions of bile salt, that the bile salt, it will stimulate the liver cells to secrete more bile. And bile salt liver cell, this will stimulate more secretion of bile. This is a condition called steatorrhea. Steatorrhea, whenever there is defect in the absorption of fat, of course, there is no proper digestion. If there is no proper digestion of fat and the fat is not being absorbed in the intestine, what happens? The fat will remain in the feces. Okay, unconditional steatorrhea. It's a type of diarrhea. Basha chiaka, large fat amount in the stool, and the stool is foul smelling. And it will not flush away from the toilet. It will sticky to the toilet. بواحد زاني ونخوشك مثلا عادة كدواي كاركترستيكي ستوكلا نخوشك برسي نخوشك خوي بيتالي هذا بتوالي تقول في شن أي بياكا لا ناتشي. طبعا عندي كذا مثلا خون طاقة كمان استكمل شورى. Which in case he takes a fatty meal and there is no digestion or absorption of fat, this will result in steatorrhea. And this is how bile salts act on a fat droplet. So this is a large fat molecule. And these are the bile salts. It will make it smaller ones surrounded by the bile salts. When bile salts can do surface here. Carboxylic group here, legal amino group here. Carboxylic group okay. ياخذ polar side يوكو طبعا phospholipid bilayer membrane كيا membrane مستوى it will face the hydrophilic phases. It will face outside and the amino group will face inside and this will make a small drop of fat surrounded by bile salt. These are the bile salts surrounding the fat droplets. بمشكلة محمد Kirwaya, lipases would come with colipases from the pancreas. It will break this layer and act on the fats that are there. It will form monoglycerides or diglycerides. So the function of bile salt to increase the surface area of the fat droplet and to make it easier for the lipases to work on the fat. برسيات ثانية شيء لديه لديه لا small particle biosalt كان بدوري هون احنا بس في شيء لديه لكن glycoside او ترايجليسرايد يعني كتيا كي كابا مونوجليسرايد ودايجليسرايد يترواني بلي لديه ام biosalt هر بدوري ويتي كدوايج ما يصيروا بيك هذا ما يصير شيء هاي سال عملية محمنتان ما يصير شيء شيء what is it Decalate fat to biosalt. Legal cheated. Fat soluble vitamins. Cheated. Phospholipases. فأنت أما بتشكله أمانته هر شو الموضوع biosalt كسرام دي كرا بس على بمونوغليسرايد ودايجليسرايد ديها. It contains also phospholipases, fat soluble vitamins will bind with each other and form what the structure of mycel. أما mycel هي كأتواني وابكا lipid droplet كان هم digestion ولا now mycel كيا and they will transfer it to the mucosa of the intestine to be absorbed. كواتا mycel هر بريتيا لو fat droplet surrounded by the biosalt in access to the phospholipase. طبعا أكيد triglyceride كان زوربي هو monoda and diglyceride. Phospholipase معناها and fat soluble vitamins all bounded to each other. And it will help in the transport and absorption of lipids. We have another subject to talk about is the storing and concentrating bile in the gallbladder. Gallbladder to an area about 30 to 60 mil. Someone says 70 mil. But I'm bile secretion for 24 hours. May reach about 1,200 mil. So where's this going? Again, I'm going to be what I'm in New Roja Kashika store كأكاتا more than 500 mil chili. So the function of gallbladder is to reabsorb the constituents of bile. Most of the water and electrolytes will be reabsorbed, so the bile become concentrated. The reabsorption is what? Water, sodium, chloride, and small electrolytes are continuously absorbed. Except calcium. The concentrating the remaining bile constituents that contain bile salts, cholesterol, and lecithin and bilirubin. أما هو كاتشيبه بارتكانيتر يعني concentration bile salt lecithin وأنا زيادة. because most of the water and electrolytes will be reabsorbed from the bile. The reabsorption, of course, is through the sodium transport. لا reabsorption أو substance لرجع sodium reabsorption. Here's that mechanism, and this is followed by secondary absorption of the other ions, and of course, water will follow. You see here cholecystokinin, which is secreted from the intestinal cell. It will stimulate gallbladder contraction. This is the difference between composition of liver secreted or bile secreted from the hepatocyte and that of gallbladder. You see that the water content is decreasing while the bile salt concentration is increasing, bilirubin concentration is increasing, cholesterol concentration is increasing, fatty acids also increasing, lecithin is increasing. Iron, most of them they are decreasing. Mainly what? Sodium and chloride are decreasing, they are reabsorbed, and we have bicarbonate, of course, the concentration of bicarbonate also decreasing. Absorption calcium ion that are minimally absorbed. Again, sodium chloride is maximally reabsorbed from the bile. So the concentration of or the percentage of sodium in the gallbladder sodium, the percentage of sodium in the gallbladder bile is decreasing. Just to know that electrolytes are absorbed mainly sodium and chloride, and the concentration of others is increasing. Let's see what will regulate secretion of bile. The bile is an hepatocytosis. Secretion of bile that will intestinal recirculation bile salt can man here effect bile manzani ka emulsification. What will regulate secretion? What man is the bile acids and bile salts when they go to the parenchyma of the liver through the enterohepatic circulation, they will stimulate more formation of bile by the hepatocytes. We have vagal stimulation, which results in contraction of gallbladder. We have secretin and cholecystokinin. Cholecystokinin, it will cause contraction of gallbladder with relaxation of the sphincter of Oddi. But secretin do what? It will stimulate the duct cells of the liver to secrete what? To secrete what? Bile acid independent part, sodium and bicarbonate. Now the secretin in the liver or in the bile secretion is not related to bile salt secretion. It's just related to the secretion of bile acid independent part. Cholecystokinin مش بيودي بتشيو هي؟ مو bile acid dependent. Contraction of the gallbladder and relaxation of the sphincter of Oddi. يعني يستاذ شيخة at the time of meal fat molecules are in the intestine. Intestine. Here, this will stimulate cholecystokinin and secretin secretion from the intestinal cells. This will go to the liver. Enhance contraction of the gallbladder. The contraction secretion. Relax the sphincter. This is the sphincter of Oddi. This is the opening of the pancreatic and biliary duct in the intestinal wall. So relaxation here, contraction here, bile will flow over the time. So it's better to know that bile is stored and consumed up to 15 times in the gallbladder. The chemical control is through presence of bile salt, which is the most important stimuli for bile secretion. Hormonal stimulation through what? Secretin and cholecystokinin. Secretin will stimulate the ductal cells. Cholecystokinin enhance contraction of the gallbladder with relaxation of the sphincter of Oddi. And we have neural stimulation, of course, through the vagus nerve, which also has a slight effect on the contraction of gallbladder. إستا تقريبا لفاتي شرحكيها باسي Goldstone formation ما قلت. شكيت ما قلت. إستا بوكم موضوع الكتابات بيجيني. It's due to imbalance between the bile salts and cholesterol content of the bile. With by one of the function of bile salt, bile. شو جرينجيكي هي؟ فبس جرينجيكي خوي هادو كان سكريشن كان بيك خوي. باشا يعني they are controlled by similar pathways. بوش خوي بس باورناكم يعني وقت وي جرينجيكي كالوريات يكلا بنو سكريشن نبل غير يوي كبيك دكتشنا يونا فريك مني. which فريك كان هيو؟ I don't think there is a mechanism for it, but it has pathological effect. بعد سووا mechanism كيمياء هادو كان لو يعمل سبب وسكريتد هادو جلاندولاني امبريونيكالي بوشكلا براستيكي نازان بوشي بريا بيك دك سكريشن لكن بس عادة توشتي اگر بيك دك ايش برواش مجبوري كي بدو دك يعني اكيد دو دك كنترول جوازي كميكانيزم سكريشن هادو كان تقريبا لهمان كاتا ستيميوليشن سكريشن يعني اكثر باشا انا مشكلة معناها هر كاتا جول ستونيك بيت obstruction area it will affect the pancreas and affect the pancreatic enzyme. كما بالجروب وات كا خوينتا if there is obstruction of the pancreatic duct by a gallstone, this will result in activation of the pancreatic enzymes. Uthman imbalance either there is more cholesterol or less bile salts. So the excess cholesterol will precipitate and form crystals in the bile. Crystal can produce double precipitation can chance larger gallstone produce but عادة cholesterol stone can smaller one, multiple small bile salt produce جولي 3 stone man هي bile pigment stone وثمان هركاتك hemolysis زون بلا وعليها زيادة الرؤية. So what are the causes of gallstone? Either too much absorption of water, or too much absorption of bile acids, or too much secretion of cholesterol, or there is inflammation in the wall of gallbladder. فوقت لو أنا inflammation ياخد infection لgallbladder أبد أوي كا ينبيعنهر أكو infection أكو نيدا سكبر. كاتي inflammation درست بيه أكو هواي كبير ها ماس هواي كي توزي ماس تيجي كيشيرة كابي بماس كاتي شيرة كي بماس همان شو درجة هر كاتي inflammation يجرو على ولا كيا لو أنا يك particle يكتشوف ببيته هوي هواي نك بودرز بوني stonic. يعني particle درست بيه there will be precipitation of substances over it producing a stone. أجينا أول factor كانت هم يبيون عند imbalance bile acid cholesterol here that's to say affect the solubility of cholesterol. یکی لفانکشن کمی پری کلسترول تلشونه که بیریم زور پیم جوان بو که بیزنیم استیم کلسترول secretion. What will prevent the damaging effect of bile salts on the biliary duct and gallbladder epithelium? This is by the effect of cholesterol. كاتا cholesterol ليرا رولي كي هيك لأنه bile secretion كده. So cholesterol ده هي absorption كده أو بشيء. What's here to prevent the ductal cells and the gallbladder epithelium from damaging effect of bile salts. ياخد bile acids. Got that? This is an important function of cholesterol. لا يقول لي يكلم يبيه سلطات. Got that? These are the causes of gallstone formation. Whenever there is a stone, sometimes stone is formed in the bile canaliculi due to excessive secretion of cholesterol or bile pigments. Hepatic duct. We have, this is the common bile duct and this is the cystic duct. So bile, when it is secreted, usually it will go to the sphincter of Auger, which is controlled by the papilla of Vater or ampulla of Vater. Or if this is closed, it will go to the gallbladder. There are stones here. What happens if there is stone here? Partial gallbladder stone here. What will happen? هتالي رابن كشيء كيوا درستان. بس كيدا مش درسته كان لو أنا pain درسته. Whenever there is contraction of the gallbladder, زاني أو أنا كعادة البرد زراعيا هي كيدا أزاريا هي كنا نخون كخوارني كي شورة خون بالذات there will be contraction of the gallbladder. Contraction غير الدسبية كا يكسر pain يعبدوه because there is a stone. يكي كتير لفاكتور كان stone شيء slow movement of bile. هكذا bile دور thick بو ياخد more mucosity يابو slow movement هابو لبايلا وهكذا precipitation بكم secretion نبي و there will be fluid كمان لبرو there will be formation of stone. فهذا they will have pain. بس أوش خطريات يجي وينه pain يجي بيو طوال الله. بلا خطريات كتير كاتك بيت عندك obstruction. obstruction it will affect the pancreatic duct secretion. Pancreatic enzymes are very strong proteolytic enzymes, so they will do auto-digest of the pancreas, and if they rupture, هم بيجار هو أخذته في peritonitis. أجل بس pancreas rupture به لأن جامي inflammation كوا أخذته في peritonitis. همونا abdominal bow digestive enzyme they are proteins so they will be digested. مين اسمه pancreatic secretion؟ كيف هذا pancreatic secretion ما كفر كلام ولا small group كذا هيك نعم بس بقى توزيك سيلة دواء زي نشي. It consists of endocrine exocrine part. I think you know this. Pancreas can handle endocrine نوايا. It's beneath the stomach. Insulin and glucagon from the endocrine part. The exocrine part secrete what? Digestive enzymes, bicarbonate and water. They pass through the pancreatic duct to the common bile duct which open into the duodenum through the ampulla of water. ياخذ فيها شيء the papilla of water which is surrounded by sphincter of Oddi. يعني شو يعني common يعني هي فيها ampulla of water وcontrol كده sphincter of Oddi. Okay, it will be open during the meals. كانت لنا أخوي it will stimulate opening of the duct. This is the structure of the pancreas. These are the beta cells, and it has also, these are the islets, and these are the delta cells. We have pancreatic acini. What we study today, these are the pancreatic acini, which are arranged, and they will secrete their secretion to the inner duct. They have a duct surrounded by pancreatic cells, pancreatic acinar cells, and they will secrete the digestive enzymes to it. This is an acinus, and these are the ductal cells. Ductal cells will secrete sodium bicarbonate solution, while the acinar cells secrete digestive enzymes. I'm بس مزور جوان تقولوا يبيشون مشان كان باشون secretion كيابه. This is how they join each other, and this is the ampulla of water, and it's controlled by sphincter of Oddi which open in the intestine. It's also about what 1.5 liter, and it's alkaline just like the gallbladder secretion. بلان فرق أهم شيء للgallbladder secretion. Gallbladder secretion just help in the digestion. It doesn't contain digestive enzyme, while pancreatic secretion contain strong digestive enzymes. كانت digestive enzyme strong لشو secretion أكره pancreas. استاجر pancreas لا بري digestioni fat proteinish affectable protein وكربوهيدرات. بلان أجر gallbladder لا بري أولا تأثيريا هناك ربو درجة. كما كان بلان تأثيريا نايج. فأولا gallbladder will help in the digestion. It doesn't do the maximum digestion or doesn't have digestive enzymes. We have digestive enzymes secreted by the acini. They are proteolytic enzymes. That's to say, related to proteins. Most important شيء هي trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase. طبعا elastase هي nuclease هي أمانة phospholipase هي أنواع كثيرة. طبعا these are the main types. We have amylases, and we know that amylases is related to the digestion of carbohydrates. And we have lipases. طبعا بو lipases, pancreatic lipase is the main source for lipid digestion. أوي كباس يمكن يتمان salivary lipase. We have a small amount. We have gastric lipase also has small role. بلان role كيوانيا بلان. The main role is through the pancreatic lipase. We should know that the pancreatic secretion is secreted in the form of inactive zymogens, which are granules containing the inactive enzymes. بيزارهم شوف وش الموضوع ثانية. اوكي يعني استعمل هموي مثلا كايموتريبسين خويا اصلا كايموتريبسينوجينا تلا بنكرياس سكريشن كده برو كاربوكسي بيبتيدز مان برو كولايبيز مان هي برو فوسفولايبيز مان هي هم in the pro form or in inactive form لأنه granular secretion أكرين. We know that from what? For what? To prevent autodigestion of pancreas. باشا key activation level whenever trypsin is activated by the enteropeptidase ياخذ enterokinase in the border area. طبعا they say that it's activated by bacterial enterokinase enzyme ياخذ intestinal cells. أنا شيء trypsin activation level. هروني trypsin وكو سكر دائما وكو نركي أول أبون إلى محاضرة هلاكة. شيء عليك حركة activation group it will activate what? The other pro-enzymes. حالة اعتيادي كأمانة secretion أكرين طبعاً ثيوريك هي أمانة لبروفورمال secretion أكرين ثيوريك تل هي ألا شيء لقل يانا تريبسين inhibitor يكش secretion أكرين أسي نفسي الله كان يعني لقل يانا مراقبة كنيرن node activation بمن تريبسين will inhibit تريبسين inhibitor will inhibit trypsin activation شو كباجة زانا بس trypsin activation ببي it will activate these enzymes. فهذا trypsinogen هروني activation group it will activate the other zymogenes and it will form chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase, pholipase and phospholipase will act which will act on proteins. فهم. trypsin شلون active بين intestinal cell it will be activated. باشا كيف intestinal. أما حالة اعتيادية مشكلة activation لأنه pancreas activation نابع. لبرشي there is a trypsin inhibitor secreted with it. باش. بس هندي جار key activation whenever there is obstruction to the pancreatic duct. هل كاتي obstruction بيجي على كاتي pancreatic هل كاتي obstruction يدك كبه there will be طبعا backflow هنا بيو concentration zymogen كان زيادة. بوش كلا بيجي أنا لو حالة ثانية trypsin activation it concentration effect inhibition trypsin inhibitor نامين لأنجاما هرش ميكانيزم بين trypsin will be activated كactivation ولا كاتي obstruction it will activate the other enzymes that will produce severe inflammation in the pancreas باشا severe inflammation طبعا يكي لو حالة ثانية كالله هندي جار مثلا قال شوي نبي استعمل abdominal كردوا مثلا كعبنا خوشة acute abdominal يعني acute abdominal pain هرشي يصير كان مثلا جاران طبعا لسه investigation زورت لبرو زورت الجاران شيء مو هندي جار opinion يعني زين شيء هي لو أنا perforated ulcer لو أنا شيء بزين شيء كأن كردوا أجر سير يعني كرداء pancreas inflamed يكسر ببيه ويدز هيج بن يعني دوريو ما خوش كان داخل كردو هيج ناوي شيء عندك كردو ده نعطينا خوش كان بس خوي شيء بس دس بس يكشقو بالبنكرياس كي يكشف بالبنكرياس كي لك هتشقو يعني هرشتك بالبنكرياس كي بري أو نفرجع وكشوا لحالة inflammation شاف رجع وكذا this will result in complete peritonitis أو أنزيمنا هم يريليز بالبناء abdominal peritonitis لجسد بل شيء هر هم عشتا بل بهر لنا أنا هر كأول زيموجي هو هر هميان بيكون they are zymogens بس بوشي بجي على رفاق في باس كردوا لبريك تريبسين كاكتيفيشن هر هميان بيكو اكتيفيشن كان all of them they are inactive zymogens كتريبسينوجين أويش they are inactive zymogens the activation process is a cascade beginning with the bicarbonate and water based on herbacées secreted by the duct cells. Two important functions يعني هيك they neutralize the acidic chyme entering from the duodenum and they will do what? Provide appropriate pH for the action of the pancreatic enzymes. باشا بزان الميكانيزمي bicarbonate secretion شلون البنكرياس هاي سلستوما كباسي شي مانكرت هيدروجين بامب مانكرت هيدروجين بامب يكهبوا لأبيكال سايدس يا وقيا ليرة مثلا هيدروجين بامب يكهبوا هيدروجين يكهبوا ليرة بعكسه there is active secretion of bicarbonate بلان bicarbonate molecule هاتوا these are active cells سيرة active يعني شي metabolism يعني شيء carbon dioxide and water. And these two طبعا سيلا كان intestine لقل kidney لقل شيء تريش they have high carbonic anhydrase enzyme. شو معنى هي carbonic anhydrase high؟ CSF شيء red blood cells. Red blood cells have high carbonic anhydrase enzyme. أما أنا هقول شيء إن carbonic anhydrase يعني مو bicarbonate carbonic acid residue dissociate to form proton and bicarbonate. Bicarbonate is actively transported to the lumen of the pancreatic cells. باشا. And hydrogen ion is actively counter-transported with sodium. And hydrogen will be moved to the interstitium while the sodium will move to the ductal cells. And the sodium, طبعا كاليرا concentration sodium زي كده, it will move to the lumen of the pancreatic ducts. بمش clear how sodium and bicarbonate secreted. But we are stomach and there is more protein entering the circulation. The protons here from the bicarbonates from the stomach, they will balance each other. فبروتون كاني ليه bicarbonate ما نزورتش في the circulation ليه proton they will balance each other to prevent acid-base disturbances here. This is the mechanism of bicarbonate formation. يفتكر بيلمو لازم أنبخوه بهمو شيء بس ببيبم بكأبو يعني لهمو شيء كهذا ما نشدرينه ليه you have bicarbonate active secretion ليه gastric acid cell كان ياخذ parietal cell كان active secretion of hydrogen معها. Phases of pancreatic secretion. وأبزم يكتلبه بالبرسياري كله يصير phases of secretion. phases secretion أولانية بلاي هذا يعني أنواع stage بين. What are the phases that will stimulate secretion or affect the secretion? زي اللي هالفيسة كاتك سيف عليك فيسة يعني كاتك تو بس سيري خوارنا كي أجاري خوارنا كلها دمتايا. What are the effect of it this on the secretion of that gland? Cephalic phase, either conditioned or unconditioned. Now you know the conditioned and unconditioned. Azanan, what's the difference between them? هندش هي adaptation يعني conditioned هندش هي علاقة بخوارنا وهي adaptation يبوكي. بلام هندش هي adaptation يعني غير كات خوارنا شو دم تويت المجال الثاني. This is the start of cephalic phase. This will stimulate vagus nerve, and we know that vagus nerve is stimulatory to the intestinal secretion and movement. باش يتصل gastric phase mainly through the hormonal. طبعا gastric will stimulate the pancreatic secretion. كواتا gastric the stomach أخوي رولي تجيبه to enhance more acid secretion. لها ما نقال إيش يكون signal كاتا gastric لنا blood كيا زي كده. This will stimulate the pancreas to start secretion. Intestinal phase. كاتا خوارنا كدشة intestine. So the kind is in the intestine. There will be stimulation of these two hormones. We know one of them is stimulate the ducts and the other one stimulate the acinar cells. There is signal pancreatic enzyme release here distension in the small intestinal wall by presence of food in the intestine or neural or GIT hormones. Whenever there is distension in the small intestinal tract, this will stimulate secretion of these hormones and presence of the food in the intestine, neural signals through the vagus nerve, and of course these two hormones. Fat digestion. Fat and related molecules constitute major part of the Western diet. لا إيمش تصوركم fat زور زور أخوي. بتاعي وكهزوزو شنو بكاستريا نازم لفيتي نازم شيء نختي خوار بني تدخل. لا إيم يعني أجر فاتي تيانا بيخوارنا كمان يتري عديش ما نخوارته. بس آخر ويد بايش خو ما نبغى. Okay, so we have triglycerides, cholesterol, phospholipids, long-chain fatty acids, and we have important fat-soluble vitamins. لصار نوي كالوري كان من زيادة الجوية سۆرسەکەی فات باش فات digestion بۆچی قورسە فەرقی هەیە لەگەڵ digestionی کاربۆهیدرات و پرۆتینە چونکە they are not water soluble so they need to be emulsified to be easily digested. Not to increase the surface area available for digestive enzymes, there is secretion of bile salts. Bile salts help break down the coarse emulsion to smaller one and become more stable particle. برای ام جاری پیشتر. جاری باید منجله بینه آریتیکا نختی زیت کرسری هر منجله که اجولانی compositionی پارتکانی لیپیدکا اگوره. توشکی که اول دوباره عین نشد اگوره. But when it is surrounded by bile salts, the bile salts can surround it, make it more stable. It have a smaller molecule of fat, smaller particles of fat, but they are more stable. Bile salts, they have both hydrophilic region and hydrophobic and hydrophilic. We talked about this. The hydrophobic part associated with the surface of lipid deporters, with the polar side or hydrophilic side interact with water, creating a stable emulsion of small water-soluble fat droplets. We can see similar emulsion when you shake a bottle of salad dressing. ليرة أول كمهم بباسي كي باس عندك بيكولايبيزا is a protein cofactor secreted by the pancreas. It will do what? It will displace some bile salts from the surface of the for bile salts surrounding the lipid. السنة معنى lipid droplet surrounded by bile salts. It will displace some of the bile salts to be easily acted on by the lipase enzyme. And yet, surrounding كأشكال bile salts surrounding to help the lipase act on the lipid enzyme. طبعا phospholipase done here, which will digest phospholipids. Free cholesterol is not digested and is absorbed intact. The intestine is intactly, it will be absorbed. Fatty acids, bile salts, mono and diglycerides, phospholipids, and cholesterol. هم يعني كل شيء بيكونين. سخوي بيشتغل. شيء معناه with the bile salts with the fatty acids or with the fat surrounding it. لقل خوي أنا شيء كده هلا قدرنا يعني شيء كده يعني لقل أنا شيء phospholipids والكوليسترول ورد هم يكدرين لقل يكا شيء بيكونين micelles. كواتا هل small fat droplet كي surrounded by the bile salt. It will form also or attract what phospholipids and cholesterol to form micelles. أما micelles كأتوانة transporti lipid to the brush border area to be easily absorbed. Why? Because micelles can enter the unstirred aqueous layer at the edge of the brush border. Unstirred يعني we have a layer around the brush border that's not always mixed with the content. أما نتوهم شنو يعني brush border كان كسكريشنا كيا بدوري خا دواي لمحاضرات digestion أنا زم كيف بتعمله إيش فعلا إذا أما brush border كان intestinal layer هي بس كريوا إنزيم كان ل brush border side كان يعني إنزيم كي intestinal enterocyte cell كان لا يتداول من الكوا. They are at the brush border يعني ل villas كان ل surface cell كان كات الدايسكرايد لير الدايسكرايدز هي it will split the disaccharides. بوشي help absorption كمايسيل چون كمايسيل أتوانه بشتناو أم ليرو بس أگر وانا به lipid droplet كان خوين ناتوانه بشتناو. Last slide is this is the bile salt coated lipid droplet. This is the bile salt which has a polar side and hydrophobic side. So all of these together, 3 fatty acids, cholesterol, monoglycerol, diglycerides, phospholipids, all together will form the micelle, which will go to the brush border side to be absorbed. ليه؟ absorption كده. طبعا لنا cholesterol خوي بفريلي absorption كده. cholesterol بفريلي absorption كده. هم يعني بيكو يكيدن، شيء بيكيدن. هذا cholesterol جت اللي قليانا. كاينو مايكرون. نتان بسهولة بايوكيمستري. كاينو مايكرون بيكيدن. حاضرين بيشوفوا بزعم كان سلايد فريانة توتين. إيش بينهم يعني؟ فريا كوتن بيخمنين يعني كريبا بيخمن هيك كيشة مية كيش أرواح كيشة معنية بس يك دقيقة سبرو ندلو بعد سبقينه إيه طب سألتوا لبالريكورد كتا محمد